Assassin's Promise by Thomas Woodward. Chapter 47. Kayana steeled herself. The voices had since passed by her. She guessed they would be no more than 20 feet beyond her, toward the front of the broken caravan. Millie. She would not leave her to them. Her eyes swelling with tears, Kayana cracked them open, trying to shift her view without moving her head. 2 other riders must have gone around the other end of the canyon. Another was a ways back yet, checking on the mangled bodies of those who had fallen earlier. If her ears were right, Millie could be dead or badly injured already. She was not about to let the 2 men make sure. Moving with as much stealth as she could muster, she hovered ahead, her own body screaming in pain at its wounds. Soundlessly, she carefully shouldered a heavy rock that had broken apart when the wagon had smashed to the earth. She could feel the rough grooves of stone around her worn fingertips. The taller, heavy-set one was speaking again. She used the noise to cover her movement as she crossed the distance as quickly as she dared. "Sandar, I think she's breathing. Stay your hand a moment." To Millie, Silas continued, "Hello there, little miss. Careful now. Your arm looks broken. Do you need help lifting it, little miss?" As he spoke, Kayana could see him pulling a dagger behind his back, carefully keeping it hidden from her view. Kayana could hear Millie coughing, trying to catch her breath, now that she had been spotted. The other shorter fellow with a reedy voice was moving forward as well. He didn't seem to notice the dagger in the larger man's hand. He spoke. "Fine day for a ride, eh, miss?" He brightened then. "Why, I bet you'd like to meet the missus. She keeps a tidy ship, that she does, but she's kind on little ones." Sandor smiled fondly at the thought of his wife. He turned to Silas then. "Silas, do you think the captain could make an exception? My Carly has been wanting a little miss so badly these last few space of months. She cries when she thinks I'm off to sleep at night. I know we should send her off, but why not keep this one?" Millie had begun to whimper softly, terror clear in her tone. Kayana moved with the silence of a cat. She readied the blow that would come. Silas turned back to Sandar. "Be a good lad and find me some rope." To the other man's face fell. "Go on now. I won't be but a minute, lad," the burly taller man continued. The hand holding the dagger behind his back quivered in anticipation. Sandar looked on for a long moment, then started to turn away, beaten. Kayana tensed, poised to strike. As Sandar turned to leave, he saw the dagger held behind the taller man's back. Something in his features broke. He reached to stay the hand, but Kayana's heavy rock bashed him in the temple. The shorter man crumpled to the ground, blood streaming down his face. Cursing, Silas spun on his heels, stabbing wildly at Kayana. He barred the way between her and Millie. Quickly glancing over to the other end of the canyon, Silas let loose a bellow of alarm. Kayana reacted without thinking, grabbing hold of Silas's arm and punching him in the kidney. As shock hit him, she moved the dagger in a rapid motion across his thick throat, blood falling in a stream beneath him. His eyes goggled, and a terrible rasping choke came forth from Silas, as he crushed his hands to his throat, going white. The horrible noise continued as he thrashed on the ground, trying vainly to breathe again, when air would no longer come. Kayana jumped to the side to avoid his death throes, and moved to Millie, casting a protective arm over her. Millie was deathly quiet, horror painted into her features. Assessing the situation, Kayana lifted the heavy chunk of wood from Millie's pinned arm and picked her up. Silas stared at a world that had become gray, his vision fuzzy and weak. With another gurgle of blood, he clawed one hand in the dirt. It was futile. Before his vision receded, he saw the bloody face of Sandar. Trying to breathe, he choked again, and this time the darkness came rushing in to greet him.